Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to a completely no-nonsense LEGO Star Wars Summer 2025 news video. We have 4 new sets that we're going to be talking about today, so if you find any of this information helpful at all, if you could subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate it. With all of that out of the way, let's jump into all of this crazy set news. So the first set out of the 4 that we're going to talk about today is going to be 75417. This one's going to be a buildable K2SO buildable figure. This one's going to be costing $200 and is branded under the 18+ line. So this goes in with my previous video where I talked about a buildable character being that $200 set, and of course it is buildable K2SO. I think K2SO is a good choice. We're obviously going to be seeing a minifigure version of him in this set, which I think is really exciting. This is the second ANDOR Season 2 set that we're getting next summer, aside from the U-Wing coming in May. This one probably a summer release in August or September, and I think this is one of the best choices they could have went with. I personally would have probably preferred a buildable battle droid or a B2 battle droid as well. I think either of those would have been slightly better than K2SO, but I think this one will look really great, and for $200 he will scale very well with the buildable C-3PO, the buildable R2-D2, and of course the Chewbacca from 2023. And then the very next rumor we're going to be talking about is 75430 buildable Ewok. This is likely an 18+ set, but it could end up being a 9+ set. We'll have to wait and see. But this one will cost $90 and release on August 1st of 2025, so around 8 months from now. And I think this one has good potential to be one of the better buildable creatures LEGO has put out. I think this one will have a lot of detail, a little more detail than the previous buildable characters, simply because they have a lot going on their actual suits and their bodies. He will hopefully have some sort of a weapon as well to make him a little more detailed, but nonetheless, I think this one is going to be great. It's a good way to also get a new Ewok minifigure, as I personally don't think there's any Ewok minifigures on shelves currently, so this will be a good way to pick one up if you want it, and only $90 isn't a terrible price, and I think this is a good choice if LEGO had to make a buildable character and Ewok was eventually going to happen, and it's going to be a good looking set. And it should pair very well with Chewbacca, C-3PO, and R2 that we saw recently. And then, of course, we're going to be getting that May 1st Chopper, so there's nothing bad with getting all of these characters, especially if you're collecting them. Alright, now getting into the more juicier set news, we have set number 75435 MTT. This one will be costing $150 and rumored to release in August alongside the buildable Ewok. This is very exciting. Not only has it been over a decade now since we saw our previous MTT model, this one is larger, at least a higher price point. I think the last one was like $100, maybe $110. This one's $150, so it's a higher price point than the ATTE that was seen back in 2022. And that set is pretty large. That ATTE is pretty large, so very excited to see how they make this one. This one will hopefully have a ton of minifigures. I know a lot of people are very, very scared to see how this one scales up. Hopefully it'll scale up decently, at least a little bit bigger than the 2014 version, which only had around 900 pieces. Yeah, so if they put around 1200 pieces into this one, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, it should hopefully end up scaling a little bit bigger than the previous MTT, which I think would be great. I think the 2014 one is a little bit undersized compared to the massive 2007 version, but nonetheless, this is going to be a very exciting set. A lot of people would be picking this one up, but there's the only question that I have is this going to be the Clone Wars version with the blue and gray color scheme, or the fully brown version from the prequels, or especially the Phantom Menace with this fully brown? And fully brown would be quite tough to actually see this happening again. That would be like our 4th version of it. I think LEGO is due for a separatist blue, dark blue and gray version. I think that would be probably a bit of a better fit, but I'd love to hear your predictions down in the comments on which version of the MTT you think this will be. Whatever version we do end up receiving, I think that the minifigure selection should be really great. I hopefully will see a bunch of battle droids, at least, 10 to 15, and then obviously we're going to be getting probably a few Jedi minifigures, at least some Clone Wars versions of the Jedi, which I'm very excited to see. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below on this set as we jump into the very final rumor that we currently hear about today. So this final rumor for the video, this is the UCS set for next year, which I cannot believe I'm reporting about in December of the prior year. This is incredible. This is set number 75419 UCS Death Star. This one's going to be costing $1,000 and it releases in October, so around 10 months from now. $1,000 is just incredible. The fact that we're getting a $1,000 LEGO set probably before GTA 6 is really hard to fathom. $1,000 is $150 more than the previous most expensive set, which was, I believe, the UCS AT-AT and also the UCS Millennium Falcon. Both of those sets are $850, and this one puts an extra $150 on top of that. This is insane. Look, $1,000, you could get so much with that. This set has to probably be the greatest set of all time. I mean, I was thinking we'd see a $900 set, a $950, maybe $975, and then we'd finally see a $1,000 set in maybe like 2030, not in 2025. And the fact that it's a Death Star, I mean, that makes sense, but it has to be massive. There would have to be at least 8,000 to 9,000 pieces to actually make this set worthwhile for the actual price tag, because if you're putting out $1,000 up front, LEGO's gonna have to start sending up payment plans to buy this set. This set is gonna be absolutely incredible. Not too sure about which version of the Death Star this is now. I think it'll probably be the Death Star 2, as it's been longer since we last saw that one. I think it'll be a little easier to make it into actual version. It'll be a little funner to look at also, because a simple round ball is very easy for LEGO to make. It's a little it's not as interesting as the Death Stars 2, that's what I'm trying to say, but a $1,000 set is just incredibly expensive. That is so much money you are spending on a single LEGO set, and this is way past we're past the is this a kid's toy, man. Is this even logical for LEGO to be making it? I mean, they didn't even make a $900 set as far as I know. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think the first $1,000 set, if it's worth being the first $1,000 set. I mean, it is iconic. I think it's iconic enough to make a big set, but $1,000 is a lot to be spending on a set like this. And well, I'm sorry for ranting, but I'm just so surprised that LEGO is making a $1,000 LEGO Star Wars set. Obviously, all of this in this video is just a rumor, so it could end up changing. Maybe it'll be 900, maybe it'll be 1,100. We shall wait and see. Now, for minifigs, LEGO needs to go all out. I mean, they put only 10 in the UCS Jabba sail barge, and that set was what, 500, 550? So this is almost double. We need to see at least 20 minifigures in this set. New stormtroopers, new versions of Imperial crew members, all sorts of people. Pretty much everybody that we see in that respective movie pretty much needs to be in the set. Whether or not they even appear in the actual scenes, they need to be in the set. Maybe we'll see a miniature, like if you take a look, the UCS Avengers Tower from LEGO Marvel has a miniature Quinjet. I would not be surprised if we saw a miniature Millennium Falcon in this set, somewhat to go alongside with the actual Death Star. You could put it in a hangar, something like that. I think that has a bit of a chance to happen. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe we'll see a miniature Imperial shuttle if it is the Death Star 2. I'm just very excited to see what this set ends up looking like. I mean, you really have to have a lot of space, one, to actually be able to display this normally in a house. It's going to be a massive set, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of these rumors, because I personally am still in shock. I'll probably make a lot more videos ranting about how a $1,000 LEGO set shouldn't exist. It's just way too expensive, but all of this is just a rumor. Perhaps it'll change, perhaps it's fake. I sure hope not. It's been confirmed by a lot of very reliable sources. So I'd love to hear all your thoughts down in the comment section below, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to like and comment your thoughts down below. With all of that out of the way, be sure to have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.